Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Basketball Coach Allen and today I'm going to give you some fantastic screen and roll fast break basketball plays. Now, if you're on the fast break, I hope that these plays are very useful for your team to be able to score as many points as possible. Let's get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. Okay, so first we have 3-on-2. So what we're going to be having here is player 3. This could be ran on either side. But what we can have is player 3 to start, setting a screen for player 1. Meanwhile, at the same time, we're going to be still having player 2 cut towards the basket, but he's going to be popping out towards that three-point line. So it's going to look like this, where player 3 and 2 are coming down. They're going to be setting a screen. Player 1 is going to be popping out, and then at this time, player 3 is going to be rolling towards the basket. Now, what we're hoping for is player 2 to pop out after that screen and roll, so that player 3, when he's rolling towards the basket, he's going to be able to be open for the layup, or at the very least, we're going to have player 2 open for a three-point or even a long mid-range shot, both of which are options. Another option is if player 2 just never does play defense on player 1, he could go in for a layup himself. Now, this next play is very similar. However, what we are going to be doing is having player 3, he's going to be setting a screen again for player 1. Player 2 is going to be cutting towards the rim, but instead, what we're going to be having is player 1 driving right towards the rim. Player 3 could be popping instead of rolling. That's going to draw player 2 over to him. And meanwhile, player 1 could have gone for the layup if he was open to do so. The next option, and what we really hope to happen, is player 1 to be able to pass to player 2 for that layup. So that way we have two options for layups and an option in case we get stuck to then kick it, basically pivot back out, kick it out for the three-point shot. But we want to get layups right now. Now, if we're coming down on a 4-on-2, what I want to see happen is player 2 to come down, set a screen for player 1. Meanwhile, player 4 and 3, they need to be cutting towards the rim. However, I want those two players to be crossing, in this case, along the baseline. They're going to be popping out towards the three-point line, and now that's going to spread out the defense, in which case, or at least we hope it does, so that player 2 can screen and roll towards the basket, and this could be a layup. Another option is player 1 can drive, which would then draw player 2 right over to him, in which case we could kick out to player 4 for a three-point shot, get player 2 a layup. Or if that brings in player 5, this could be a kick-out pass to player 3. Or if player 5's defense is a little late, player 2 gets the ball and then he can kick it out himself to player 3 for a three-point or a long mid-range shot. Now, something that not many coaches actually teach. Most coaches do teach to cut in at the free throw line extended. However, there are good reasons as to why we want these wing players to go right down towards the three-point line. And the reason is player 2 can set a screen for player 1, and player 1's going to use that screen. He's going to roll towards the basket. Now, if this collapses the defense, we can kick it out for a three-point shot. If this doesn't collapse the defense, we could have player 2 for a layup. Or if player 2 red was to come down, we can kick the ball way out to player 4, or go in for the layup if it's open, or have player 5 play defense on 1, where 1 can then pass the ball out to player 3. Either way, we're going to be getting a basket by running these simple screening plays. Now, if we're coming down on a fast break and player 1 has the ball way on the right side, we are 4-on-3 and we have 3 players on only one side of the guard. What I want to see happen is player 4 to set a screen for player 2. Player 2 is then going to be crossing across player 4 for that screen. And at this point, I want player 1 to be dribbling out towards the left side, and this is going to be a screen and roll, so player 4 is going to be rolling towards the basket. Now, what's going to happen is this will either collapse the defense, where player 4 doesn't have an option where we can kick player 3 out the ball, because player 1 would be guarding player 1, or what can happen is, because of all what's been happening with the screen up top, this could be drawing player 2 up to play player 2 blue. Player 5 could be stuck in the middle guarding essentially 3 players, where player 4 could be open for the lob and a layup. So there's another play that you could practice if you're running some fast break drills in your practice. So now if we're coming down on a fast break and we're 5-on-4, now let's say there's an injury with player 3 or whatever is happening, he's just way back on defense, not coming back, kind of like how Lonzo Ball was playing in high school. This is some of the plays that we can run. Most likely the defense is going to look similar to something like this. And what we're going to be having instead is player 5, he's going to be popping down and setting a screen on his man, which would then leave player 3 wide open. That's one option. Another option is player 5 coming up, which would then draw player 5 right up, setting a screen for player 1. Player 1 would attack, which would draw player 5. We could have player 2 and 4 sink down, in which case player 5 would roll off, and if these players are not paying attention, we could have player 5 for the layup or player 3 for a 3-point shot. Now, these are all fantastic fast break basketball plays that you can run with your team. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.